Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. So I decided to take a look at Railroute again. Update 9 came out, as you can see. The biggest change is they've given us a new menu. So I'm just taking a look here. Okay, I see the trains are the difficulty level. And so I know by type, we can get here. At some point I'm going to try some of these. I found this new map creator, at least they're new to me. They've probably been around for a while, but they do things based on real schedules in various locations. But as you can see, they've got some significantly long times. And again, the timetable maps tend to be the ones I like the best. I'm going to try this PAX Parkway. It's from Stair, who's someone who used to do a lot of designs, but unfortunately has gotten a little frustrated with things, and I don't think is playing any longer, so or even involved any longer. So let's see, I should be able to go here. Now this is supposed to be simple, but the notes do say that it's something that has a kind of a tight timeline, so that it makes for a more exhilarating experience. So and knowing what Stairs created in the past and some of the challenging levels of theirs I've attempted and failed miserably at, I'm not entirely sure that I'm even going to be able to pull this off with a 100% score, but I'm going to give it a go, and in the interim we'll just kind of have a conversation and I'll share kind of where I'm at. So I've been away from Railroute for quite some time, not really a fault of the game per se, other than the fact that obviously I've been more interested in other things than I have in Railroute. To some degree, I suppose we could say that's an issue with Railroute, in that I don't think anything in the last few updates they've released has been incredibly compelling. Most interesting, and I think the most useful, and I've seen and heard both sides of this, where they've added pretty much any kind of switching configuration possible. So when you're placing things in endless mode, for example, you're able to make a lot of junctions that you couldn't before. Now, the people who are less enthused about that seem to focus more on the fact that they just felt... no one said it made it easier, but I think they said it just took the interest out of endless mode for them, because, and I'm thinking it just, you didn't have as much puzzling to figure out how to use the junction types you could do, the switch types you could handle, and instead had a bunch of things that could go anywhere, and then that just created a jumble as well. The big change for 9, as I started this with, is really a menu. And so, while it's interesting and all, it's a game. The goal is about gameplay, and a menu really isn't about gameplay. It gets you to gameplay, but it's just window dressing, to really be honest. And so, that's been the challenge. And I get this title is early access, and it may just never get to the point where it's really released, because I think at this point I would say it's unclear what their goal is. I think the developers, the team, whatever you want to call it, for me as a customer, I don't know what I'd ultimately get, and I think that's the confusing part of where this is going. And so therefore it's a bit of a lack of enthusiasm to come in and spend time here. The bar is very, very low for something else to say, you know what, I'm going to do that instead. And some might say it's marginal things. I'm playing things that are very, very old by gamer standards, I suppose. I've gotten into the Frontier games, Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, and just trying to find a little bit more time there. We've got a lot going on in Farming Simulator, as anyone who's been keeping up with the channel is aware. Generational farming has started up and so forth, and so that has honestly been a substantial amount of my time. But, you know, I'm trying to get into something realistic there because I need to allow time for other things. And I'd say in the last week, it's been generational farming all the time, which is not a bad thing. It's just the reality of what it is. So, all right, I can get this through to there. So far, I'd say I'm okay. It's just the question of, you know, are things going to run into a problem? I'm sure there's going to be a single bottleneck through likely this area that is going to cause some fun. So, yeah, I suppose I can like look over here. Looks like things are just arriving. So yeah, maybe it's more, you know, what's happening there. I don't think we have anything that isn't allowed to slow down. So if I have to stop something, I can do that. You know, but at this point, it kind of seems like I just need to route these. But these have to come back too. So now I see a little bit of the potential problem. So let's see. So this has to get there at 8:08. This has to be back at 8:12. So let's see how long this is going to sit. 2 minutes, basically. I need to reverse it. So the question kind of becomes, do I have a situation where, like, should I hold him before this one comes through? I don't think so, but I'm unclear. So it's a bit of the challenge, and at this point, because we're not leaving for a minute and a half, but if we do, I think we're gonna have, like, we're gonna have a bottle, like, this is the bottleneck, so this is what makes this a rail route for certain. So you know what? No, but if I wait, no, I need to be there at 8:08, and this isn't leaving till 8:07. So it's like if I waited, let it go by. Yeah, this has to go first. That wouldn't make any sense otherwise. It's just, I don't think it's going to even come out of the tunnel here until it's ready to go. Like, I think this is going to get stopped here, which is okay. So let's see, because yeah, it took 5 minutes. It took 5 minutes. You know, this one has 6 minutes to get to PAX 2, so I suppose that would kind of indicate that I need to let it wait over here. So I'll do that, because yeah, these all come back to 2. Yeah, because it looks like basically we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all of these are coming in, and you can see here now he's waiting. Now as soon as he gets around the turn, he can take off. So it's not going to be incredibly long that we're waiting. So should now let me continue. There we go. And now we're immediately going to have something coming in on 1 again. I mean, the nice thing is we don't have anything coming back that way. So yeah, I think it's just kind of flipping everything through at the appropriate times. Like, this clearly makes sense to go through. You know, this one needs to reverse. So I don't think any of these leave. I think everything comes back on this map. Alright, and that goes to PAX 1 again. So it's a bit of the same type of thing. Although this one, no, I guess it's 6 minutes still. But yeah, this is again where we're going to have a bit of a challenge. Because we're coming through. I'm pretty sure, because this has 5 minutes. Like, I think this needs to go. Well, maybe not. Maybe it just waits like the other one. And that's kind of what we end up with each time. Because this should be coming out of the tunnel here soon. But I think I want to get this on PAX 2. Obviously, I need to get it all the way out. You know, because it would seem to be foolish to make a train wait when this one has nearly a full minute. Like, it can begin now for over 40 seconds moving in the direction it needs to go. And the trick here, too, is we've got this junction, which would seem at some point I'm going to have a couple trains routing back here or something. And that's going to see. But this is finally entering the tunnel. And now this has to come back here. So once again, it's just a lot of things going on. 6. Look, everything seems to be a very tight schedule, so I'm just not liking the comfort. So, yeah, an exhilarating experience it is. But I'm wondering if some of this spacing will then cause something later. But like, these are all the trains that we're dealing with for certain. But nobody seems to have an exceptionally long hold time. You know, again, it doesn't make any sense to hold this one at this point. It should go and clear right away. You know, and so as soon as one moves, now we have another one coming in. So we're going to clear it on one. And obviously get it out of the station, because there's something coming again. Which is fine. Okay, now he's waiting for 4 minutes. So this may be where things change a bit. Because now it would seem I'm going to take this one through and get it to 1 before this one takes off. Now, does this one wait? It does. Alright, so I'm sure I can just keep going here, and these can run through that way. And this will be the first of the 8 trains that finally leaves. So we've had trains kind of on the map this whole time. Can speed up a bit here. Although I need to be careful because we're going to have other things coming soon. He's going to PAX 2. He's coming back to 2. But this is still 2 minutes, so like in this case, like I think this train should be clear. I don't know that I'm seeing any reason I can't get things that far. So everything is coming through appropriately. Let's see. Oh, this still has two mecha. Yeah, that one's got a long time to wait. Now we've got another one coming in. Again, it's the only way out of the station, so I can get it at least that far. But the question becomes... Yeah, this one has to go to PAX 2, so I've got to wait for that to clear until this one comes out. But the question is, that needs to go 823, so this one is after. Some problems, that is for certain. I will give it that. Because, yeah, this has to wait until that is clear. So there's a lot going on. Like, this one's going to start moving before. We've got a little bit of a gap. Now, let me turn him around before I don't have that happening. And it would seem... Actually, oh no, that it has to be there at 820. 823, that's got a further way to go. So I'm thinking... this is the one that's going to be interesting. Do I let it go before I let this one go? I don't think I can. Oh boy, I'm not sure. Definitely not a simple one, that's for sure. But I don't think I can wait. I'm wondering if... I think this is the one decision right here that is going to make or break what's happening. Because this one needs to be there in now under 4 minutes. This still isn't even leaving for a minute and a half. But... Alright, well, I'm going to stick with the same pattern. Simply because otherwise I think we're, again, kind of wasting some time that we don't have. So yeah, I'm kind of keeping that clean. Alright, so he's out. He'll be able to be moving. He's got to go to PAX 1 at 823. Alright, so he's only getting a 10-second head start, but it is a head start. Again, I'm going to clear this through here. It's going to PAX 2. We'll just get him through there. Okay, he needs to... No, wait a minute. Oh no, because I need him clear, so... That's fine. He can go here now. Can at least move that closer. And then, there we go. That gets us to 2. So we should be okay there. I did have a little bit of braking, so that may cause me a little bit of trauma there. Hopefully not. Although, wow, it's going to be interesting. Let's say that. Because, yeah, that train needs to be clear. And again, we then just need to get them clear all the way through here. So I'm just trying to see. Yeah, see, this one should be coming in. It hasn't even cleared the tunnel yet. But the question is, if it gets there at within 820, is that okay? Or because it wasn't there at the start, is it not going to give me 10 points? I think I got 10. And then again, this needs to get here because it has to be there at 823. So that should work. Get that through, because once again we had almost a minute where that's waiting. I can run this through to here so that it doesn't stop more than it needs to. It's always that little bit closer. But this doesn't need to be there till 8:26. This one needs to be way back there at 8:27, so this one certainly is going to have the right of way here. So I'll clear it all the way through. Now I think, because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, no, I've got one more train coming in here. So, whoop. So that didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Okay, no. Okay. No, I need... Oh boy. Yes, I need that one through first. This one can wait, because it doesn't need to be there till 8:26. Yeah. So we should be okay. This one, 8:23. I mean, it's definitely close. Like they said, it's a tight time frame. There's no kidding around there. Alright, this one has to go to PAX 1. Alright, I'm a little concerned because, wow, that one is really tight. But we got 10. We're still okay. We turn him around so I don't have the same issue I did. This one now needs to go to PAX 2 when it clears. Again, we've got 2 minutes, so I would think that we'll be okay there. Yep, this is clearing, so certainly no reason to hold him up. It's just a question of, can he make it by 8:26? I would think he can. I may be late on that, but I don't know that I could have done it any differently. It's all going to be... It's going to be close, I'll tell you that. Alright, now he's going to hood 2. So we're going to run that one through again. Because it's ready to go, so I shouldn't have to wait for this one. Now I think... I mean, I'll be there before the full amount, so we'll just make sure. Yep, we got a plus 10. Need to return it. So now things are a little cleaner. Now this one needs to be at 8:27, so we're in good shape there. And then this one needs to go to PAX 1, so we'll clear that as soon as we can. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure I needed certain things, but as far as, like, I never ran this route. I'm not sure that it would have ever made sense to run that route. And then this runs through here. Alright, so this one's going to have to hold again while we wait for things to clear. Now it's going to route through. I think everything looks good. Alright, this one goes, again, all the way through. Just making sure they're not tricking me in any place. And then he's going to go all the way through as well. So, one would think that this will just be kind of standard moves now. I mean, it should just go. Unless there's some waiting at the end, but I think this will get us completed. So yes, he's clear. We're coming through. He's got to be there at 8:36 plus 10. I think we did it. So yes, 100%, no penalizations. Good job. Alright, so, well, that was at least another visit back to Rail Route. Did something simple. I had tried in the interim one that was the next level of difficulty and just was terrible at it. So I decided to step back and at least give you something that I didn't embarrass myself entirely on. But the other level I had, there's a lot of complexity there, so maybe it's just incorrectly rated. But I don't know that I would say it was just a 2-level difficulty, and this one being a 1. To me, given what I went through in each one, significantly different. So once again, as I said, you know, the menus are here. They've kind of changed it, and it's mainly, you know, giving you the maps, giving you kind of bigger views of things. Now for the timetables, I found a new developer of maps, they're new to me anyway, that has these type of things in here, where they've got things based on real charts. How do I have this sorted? I'm not entirely sure, because I thought there were more of these in here, and I'm not seeing them. Well, there's this one. So maybe let's see, by difficulty. No, this is... No, I'm confused. That's difficulty. Okay. So if I change it by map difficulty... Like, yeah, because I think I have 3. There we go. So there they are. So in theory, these are all mid-level difficulty, but you can see there's a lot going on, and more importantly, there's a lot of time. But the one I had tried in between was this, and or no, was it? No, I'm confused. So the map I had tried in the interim was this one, and that was the one I started to fail miserably on pretty quickly. There's just a lot going on. I mean, you can see there's 57 trains in 55 minutes, so it's just challenging. Where, you know, here we've got, you know, 70 trains, but I've got, well, I still suppose it's 1 a minute, but these are based on real timetables, is my understanding, so it's almost like you're really routing as they would be routing, and that would seem that it would be more difficult than moderate, but one of these days maybe I'll give that a shot, and maybe I'll share that with you, maybe I won't. I think it'll just be stressful. But hopefully you've enjoyed this kind of peek back into Rail Route again. If you've not seen this game, it is in early access. You know, as I mentioned, you know, I don't know that they're on a path that's going to progress them beyond that. So obviously, since you know, most people have limited funds to spend on anything, let alone gaming, you're going to have to then decide, you know, is this somewhere that you want to put your money? But if you like these kind of things where you got a pretty basic gameplay mechanic and you're trying to just keep things organized, it's a fun version. I certainly enjoy it because I like trains. You know, who doesn't? You know, the stereotypical male thing. It's trains. It's awesome. It's fun. You know, there's all kinds of neatness around it, but that may not be for everyone. So you'll have to take a look. It's not an extremely expensive game, but I will admit that basically since update 6, updates 7, 8, and 9, I don't know that they've given me anything that I've just been like, oh, I've been waiting for this. And in fact, with the colors and only being able to do 8 colors versus in essence having an infinite amount and having full control. So they had it in the game and they took it out. I don't understand the logic of that. I mean, obviously if it was something that couldn't be done, I assume it wouldn't have been there at all. So I think that's a step backwards, because when you're dealing with really busy maps, you know, even this one that I was playing, only having a few colors makes it a little bit challenging when you're trying to use them to route things. So anyway, that is what I've got for you, and I will see you next time.